Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino. We're looking at a beer. Today's beer is from Kensington. From Kensington Brewing Company, it's the Market Pils. It's an American Pilsner at 4.7% ABV and 35 IBU. So, Kensington Brewing Company is in Kensington Market in Toronto, Ontario. I do believe that they're still contract brewing or they're not fully open to the public. And the only other brewery I know of that has taken as long to become a full brewery is like Indie Ale House, which Indie Ale House was in the Junction in Toronto and had a lot of hoops and stuff to jump through. So I'm curious if Kensington's having the same problem. If they're having a money problem, if they're having just I don't know what their problem is for getting open, but I remember I tried to get them to come to the first Albino Rhino Beer Festival, which this is the 4th annual one coming up, and they couldn't come because they were a contract brewer and they just didn't have the overhead yet, and they still can't come for somewhat the same reasons. What do we have here? Market Pils is it pairs best with. I can't actually read all this. Market Pils is an unfiltered and dry hopped lager with notes of barley, white grape, and lemon zest. So if it's unfiltered and dry hopped, unfiltered would make me think it's more like a Keller beer. But hey, or what is it? A Zwickel beer is what a Keller beer is also known as. Zwickel or Zwicker? I think it's Zwickel. Oh, lots of head. Lots of head. I knew there would be, though, because when I opened it, the head came out onto the top. But a beautiful golden color. Semi-unfiltered. I mean, there is a bit of haze to it. Not as much as I was expecting. But we do only have the top of the can in there. So there might be more as we get down there. The head is a nice white. Snap, crackle, pop is there. The scent is straw-like with a bit of straw with a bit of sweetness, and then orange, lemon, and cut grass. So it does smell like there's still some noble hops in there. I mean, there might not be. I can't really read anything on here. Wait, oh, here we go. Water, Pilsner, barley malt, Bravo hops, and Czech Pilsner yeast. Bravo hops are usually more. Bravo hops are the hops that are in the hopped whiskey from Wiser's. They're usually earthier. They're not usually. They don't usually give off the smells I'm getting. And that's a pretty lenient little bill there. There's not much in there. Anyway, let's try it. Cheers. Now, Kensington beers for me are another brewery that makes basically hit or miss. I either really, really like it or it's okay at best. A lot of breweries are like that, to be honest. Actually, most breweries are like that. There's not a lot of breweries where I'm in the middle, where, you know, I kind of like everything, or I kind of this. It's usually I love some stuff by them, and I don't like some stuff by them. That being said, this kind of reminds me, very minusculely reminds me of Pivo Pils by Firestone Walker. And I say minusculely reminds me of it because it's just that little lemon zest taste in there and the slightly fruity notes that are in there as well. Those make me think of Pivo Pils from Firestone Walker, which is a Pilsner I actually really like because it's a new age Pilsner. The rest of this, I'm not a big fan of. It does have more flavor than any other Pilsner I've really had in Ontario. I'll give it that. And it's a mixture of a New World Pilsner and an Old World Pilsner. It does have a lot of that still, like that grassy cut, that grassy kind of tinny metallic and a bit straw-like flavors in there. They're all in there still. Yet you're also getting lemon and a kick of sweetness. And it's intriguing. It also is much more bitter than many pilsners I've had. Do I think people could like this? I think a lot of people could. Do I think myself I could? No, I don't really care for it. But what it is I don't care for about it is the mixture of the lemon with that sweet kick right at the end, that sweet fruity kick right at the end, as well as the slightly metallic flavor that mixes in with just the bitter hoppy resininess that fades out in the back end. I don't like that about it. The rest of it is okay. It looks the part, it smells the part, it kind of tastes the part. It's alcoholic. It's local. It'll do the job. I would drink it above a lot of other beers in the world, but there's also a lot of beers I would drink above this. And Kensington, their very first beer they brought out, their amber, or the Aurora Ale, it was really, really solid. Also, their watermelon wheat, not a huge amount of watermelon on it, but it's a solid beer. Their fish IPA, it's an okay beer. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I like Kensington. I like the art on their cans. I like the way they basically kind of make New World and Old World mixed together. But this beer just isn't really for me. That's fine. I get to drink a can of it right now. I get to enjoy it. I get to talk about it with you guys, and then I'll never have to drink it again. And that's all that matters, right? Out of 10 for myself, I'd probably give it a 5.75, but that's my own personal taste palette of it. It just basically means that I don't want to drink it again. Unless somebody else bought it and brought it over, I could possibly do it then. Stylistically, is there any faults in the beer? No, there's no faults. There's nothing like that. It's just not a beer for me. And that's it. That's all there is to it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's intriguing. I think I went into it expecting just a Pilsner. Just like a Creemore Pilsner, or the Mythology Pilsner, or the Pilsner, or there's just so many Pilsners that I've had that I think going into this I didn't expect like a hybrid of Pivo Pils, and I think that's part of the problem with it for me, is that I wasn't ready for that. So I guess I'll give it one last big swig. I'm not going to chug the whole thing because I just don't like the flavor of it. I might chug the whole thing because I'm an alcoholic. Well, I'm not an alcoholic. I shouldn't say that because it does put bad connotations on people that actually are, because I'm making a joke about it, so I do apologize for that. I'm a big Irish guy that likes beer, so I might actually just chug it. Cheers. An Irish Canadian before I get that in the bottom. Yes, my parents are from Ireland, I'm from Canada. Fuck you guys. Bye, guys.